Okay. So, picking up from where we left off, the holy reflection of Sophia, the mother goddess of all, reflected down in these waters, and her son, Yaldabaoth, who was an unnatural creation, and all of his progeny, which he created in his image, they saw this. But see, this is the main distinction, is that Sophia, she has mind, body, and spirit. She is a complete being. But the son and her son, Yaldabaoth, and the progeny that he spawned are unnatural beings. That means that they have mind and body, but no spirit. And sorry, I have to fix something on my teeth. And if you read the Gnostic writings, they talk about how the rulers, that's what they call them because they're the rulers of this realm, they have soul and no spirit. Well, you have to understand that this is something that stumped me for a long time, but the word soul comes from psyche. In the Greek myth of Psyche, Psyche and fucking whatcha, I don't know what the fuck his name was, but Psyche, it's kind of like it's the Adam and Eve story, but it's told from a different thing. It's about the separation of mind and body and shit like that. But the word soul comes from the word psyche, and the word psyche is what means mind. So soul and mind are the same thing. That's why soul and spirit are different. So in the Gnostic writings, when they talk about these creatures having soul but no spirit, it's because they have only body and mind. You have to think of it in the Matrix kind of way, where in the Matrix, the thing that makes Neo and Morpheus and Trinity and all these people more powerful than the agents is because the agents have body, quote unquote, in the Matrix, and they have mind because they have sentient artificial intelligence, but they don't have any spirit. And that's what makes Neo and Morpheus and Trinity more powerful than the agents, is because they have spirit. They have the human spirit. So, anyways, in the continuing with this Gnostic parable, so Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, the creator god, Yahweh, Jehovah, and his angels, they saw this reflection of the spirit moving on the waters, which was the reflection of Sophia, and they saw that this reflection was beautiful, and they tried to take hold of it, but they couldn't comprehend it. The darkness could not comprehend the light. And so what they did is they were like, we'll remake this image using dirt, using soil. Thus, it brings us to the Adam and Eve. So Yaldabaoth had this breath of Sophia, this spark of eternal divine light that he didn't know what to do with. It was more like a novelty to him, but he knew it was very important. And so he created this body. And him and his angels, they created this body out of the soil to try and mimic what they saw in this divine reflection that they saw. But it couldn't move. because it was just the body, and they were like, and they bestowed it with mind because they had mind, but without spirit, this thing wouldn't move. And then, so Yaldabaoth, he took this divine breath, this spirit that he held in his hand, and he put it into Adam, and Adam came to life. He's like, oh, whoa. And he's like, duh. He was kind of like, duh, you know. And he created Adam and Eve, and so there's Adam and Eve, and they were just kind of like, duh, 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 duh. And so like, and anyways, and the fucking story goes on from there. But the whole thing was making a long story short, is I mean, this is all an allegory. I'm not saying this is like an exact to the point, story of what really happened, but it's like the whole point of the Gnostic allegory is that we are in kind of like a fucked up creation, and that this world that we see is like, it's a counterfeit world of what people would think of as heaven or the eternal world. And so it's like this world is like the eternal. I mean, I've fucking made videos talking about the Gnostic Bible and shit like that. It's like, and yeah, people think I'm crazy. I don't give a fuck. I'm not fucked up. The world's fucked up. And people like to think, oh, that's just the way the world is. The world is imperfect. But yeah, the world is fucking imperfect. But it's like, okay, if you want to know what I'm talking about when I talk about Gnosticism, first of all, look this shit up. Second of all, watch The Matrix, the first movie. The other two movies add to the theme. But if you only have time to watch one movie, watch the first Matrix film. This explains everything. Of course it's allegorical, but it's very, that is to say it's metaphorical. That is to say it's not real, but it kind of is real. Kind of trying to dumb this shit down for people. But it's like, it comes down to a point in the Matrix when, in the movie, when Morpheus is talking to Neo, and Neo, he's like, Morpheus is talking to Neo, and he's explaining the whole fucking thing to him. And Morpheus is like, he's like, the Matrix is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. And then Neo is like, what truth? And then Morpheus is like, that you are a slave. And then another really important part in that movie is when Neo goes to see the Oracle, and he sees this little bald Buddhist kid, and he's bending spoons and shit with his mind. And Neo tries to bend the spoon, but nothing happens. And the kid is like, don't try to bend the spoon. Only try to realize the truth. And Neo is like, what truth? And the kid says, there is no spoon.